Good morning, everyone. I hope you can all hear me well. Thank you for joining today's webinar. We are really glad to have each of you. I can see some attendees have joined. Maybe even before we reach 20, we should start in the next 5 minutes. Maybe we can, for those who would want to introduce themselves, are there any guys who would want to introduce themselves? Maybe we can allow you to introduce yourselves. To start with, I'm Liz Matimu. I'll be moderating this session. I'm a partner at KKC East Africa, and I look forward to also learning myself about fundraising in the not-for-profit sector. Myself as an audit practitioner, one of the key things we usually highlight in terms of high risk for all our clients is sustainability and going concern. And one of the key questions we always ask the board members is, tell us your plans on sustainability from a not-for-profit perspective. And it's good we're having this session to hear the different ways not-for-profits can become sustainable. So maybe I'll begin by anyone who would like to introduce themselves, even as we are about to start. Anyone? Anthony, I can see you're on. Would you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself. I hope I'm not putting you on the spot. I can see your mic is on. Would you want to speak? And I can see the others, their mics are off. I don't know if you would want to chat. I'll just chat. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself, your organization.
Yeah, so my name is Anthony Koske. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, so about a year ago, I founded Conscious Kenya. My main goal at the time was to do something about mitigating politically and ethnically motivated violence. Because every time we get towards the elections, before and after, there's always some violence that disrupts a lot of aspects of our lives. So by founding Conscious Kenya, the main idea behind it was, the whole part of Conscious is just to try and change people's minds to see that there are other alternatives to dealing with issues that are around us other than going towards conflict. So with that, we are in development of our peace program to try and reach out to communities in peri-urban areas where the conflict has been evident and creating most of the issues for the people living there, just to show people that, you can live with others as you have different in views, perspective, political affiliations. It doesn't have to go the way of violence. Okay. So that plus our environmental program, which tries to show people living in areas such as Nakuru, where there is flooding from climate change, how to use nature to adapt and mitigate the effects of climate change. So those are our two main programs as of now.
Oh, thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you for, I usually say not-for-profit. The work you're doing is actually meant to be government doing it. And the not-for-profit they really support government, which is really, I don't talk about our government in this webinar, but what the work you're doing, especially supporting the violence next year is going to be a very interesting year. So thank you for the work you're doing. Let's see, we will be discussing different ways you can raise awareness, raise money, especially I can imagine you need a lot of money towards this year, next year for raising that awareness. So thank you for sharing, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Then we have Anne. I don't know if you can put Anne's volume on. If pick up is there, Anne, would you want to talk? I can see she's introduced herself.
Hi, good morning. My name is Anju. Hi, everyone. Really glad.
And we've lost you.
Kenya, you've lost me?
No, now you're back. Now you're back.
Okay. Yes, my name is Anju Guna. I'm very glad to be here. I work with Plan International in the communications department as the corporate communications and media relations manager. Our organization really, for the longest time, has been focusing on children's rights, but now we are repositioning ourselves as an organization that is working towards advancing the equality for girls and young women, because we've realized that there's a gap there. There are still many other things that girls require for them to be at the same level as boys. And I know that's a discussion for another day, because men kind of always ask, what about the boy child? But we work with them also in advancing the rights of girls. I'm glad to be here, one, because part of my work for the last 1 year has been around fundraising, even as we continue to raise awareness on the issues that girls are focusing on or girls are facing. And so I'm eager to learn more tips on what to think about when it comes to fundraising as well. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Anne, for that introduction. Thanks for telling us what you do. The girl child, I know I'm a girl, so I don't want to talk about it. You had Magoha in the media recently when the results were announced, and Magoha said, number one, and it's a boy. And the women were like, why did he have to say it's a boy? So yes, very many debates regarding the girl child and the boy child. Interesting in media and relationships, I know when I look at especially international organizations, a big part of their fundraising goes to media and communicating the stories. One of the main ways to fundraise is to share your stories, share your experiences, share the real stories from the people receiving your help you're giving. So thanks for sharing. I know this session would add a lot of value to you. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else would want to share? Put on the chat. Anyone else would want to share before we begin? It's 10:06, we'll begin at 10:10. Anyone else would want to introduce themselves and tell us what they're doing, what they feel? I can see Moses from Imani. Moses, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself and what you do? Maybe we can give you volume. Polycarp, if you can give Moses a chance to speak.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes, I'm Moses Kabengi from Amani Counseling Center and Training Institute. It's a non-profit organization that focuses on offering psychosocial support to the community. So we offer counseling services and as well as training or enhancing people with counseling skills so as they can support other people in the community. So my main focus here today is to learn more on how to fundraise so that we can reach out to vulnerable people in the community so that they can be able to be supported with the services that we do offer.
Thanks, Moses. I know counseling is a new concept in Kenya, and many more people are appreciating it. So it's a good initiative to raise awareness of that. Thank you for that. We have Faith who's raised up her hands. If Faith, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Hello.
My name is Faith Inyanchi, and I work with Starter Library. Starter Library is a non-profit program that is managed by Storymoja Publishers. And what we do is we fundraise to equip primary schools with reading material so that we can improve literacy levels and quality of education. And the reason we say reading material to improve quality of education is because, well, the language of instruction in school is English and a little bit of Kiswahili. Most children are not competent and do not have the requisite language skills to be able to understand the language of instruction. And so we are wondering, so if you're going to teach mathematics, which is presumed to be difficult, and science in a language that children do not understand, how are we expecting them to excel and thrive, even in their academics? So we heard yesterday that in KCSE, we are saying that children performed very well, but we have concentrated so much on the small percentage that excelled that we have forgotten that the majority did not perform so well. And our research has proved that the disconnect between academic excellence and what the pedagogy that is in class is mainly because there's a lack of connection in the language of instruction. And this is because children actually are not accessing it enough. Because at home, they speak either Kiswahili, Sheng, or if it's in the rural areas, they speak mother tongue. And the ministry has tried to say, okay, fine, for the younger children, we can try and teach them using the language of the catchment area, so mother tongue. But if you're going to do that, but yet still have textbooks in English and still set assessments in English, how are you helping the children? So what we are trying to do as an organization is just to ensure that children are able to continuously and actively interact with the language of instruction through storybooks. And I remember even in our African culture, values were passed down through stories. It's only that right now, the stories are now in books. So enabling them to interact with that language through storybooks, but also teaching teachers and equipping them with skills to use the storybooks as language textbooks. So yes, it's a difficult space right now for us, and that's why I'm in this forum, because due to the pandemic, there's very little funding going into education right now. And I'm just hoping that through this, I might be able to connect with people who probably are in the same space and share the same ideas, but also find and understand new ideas of fundraising in a space that is continuously getting very limited funding. So yes.
Thanks, Faith. Interesting. Thanks, Faith, for sharing. Interesting about Story Moja, storybooks, reading. It's interesting the way many kids are getting the A's but are not able to join the workforce. So thanks for sharing. So I'll allow only 3 more people to speak. There's Arnold, Kelvin, and Derek, and then we will begin. So Arnold, if you can share with us what you do, what your interest is in this session.
Okay, so my name is Arnold Ngarasi. I work for Imara Education Foundation as the administration's officer. So in Imara, what we do is we have some centers which help with cultural formation. They've talked about the girl child, but here we look more, the centers that we have look more at giving that professional formation to especially the boy child also. Then also in these centers, what we organize are work camps. So getting donors from outside countries to come and help out in rural areas within Kenya. Yes, that's what we mainly do in Imara. I'm glad to be here, and I want to learn more on how to do fundraising. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll have Kelvin and then Kelvin and then Derek. Kelvin.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kelvin Duke. I'm the program manager at Ngong Children's Foundation. It's an NGO that provides education and support for children in Nairobi whose families are affected by HIV and AIDS. And our mission is to help them transform their lives. We work together with a sister organization in the US called Friends of Ngong Road that connects us with our sponsors and donors. And our program is anchored on 3 pillars. That is education. We sponsor students from primary all the way to post-secondary. Then safety and well-being, where we provide meals to students and also basic medical care. Then the other one is supportive community, where we have case managers supporting the children as they go through their journey. And as a program manager, I also have a goal for fundraising. And my objective here is to learn strategies, especially for local fundraising, because it's a big challenge. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, we'll have Derek.
Hi, good morning. My name is Derek Adair, branch manager, APDK Coast, Association for the Physically Disabled of Kenya. We got 10 branches in Kenya, the coast being the largest, where we do empowerment and rehabilitation. Rehabilitation in a manner, we do things like surgeries and other rehabilitation things. At the other branches, we do businesses mostly, but mostly the work is done by people with disability. My goal here is I did this last year and I got around 600,000 Kenyan shillings. This year we're on the giving away page and we're about 150,000 shillings, but on the local side it's not doing well. And that's my main aim of joining here, to see how to maximize it locally, because mostly when you do fundraising, if you don't have people in Europe or the big ones in the local market or in the local scene, you will get limited funds. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I know it would